Secretary General Nartates, even before na nangyari ito, yung kahapon, meron na ba tayong intel report na natatanggap na may ganitong mangyayari? And nakuha ba sa intel report na may plano talaga lusubin ng Malacanang?
Yes, we had in the intel report, and that's why an additional phalanx of security was introduced into the roads leading to Malacanang. We knew that they would try, they would attempt. We knew that we had the suspicion that they would use violence. Pero ang directive talaga ng ating Pangulo is use maximum tolerance. We will not allow anarchy to prevail over the government. So, ginawa namin ang lahat at nagtagumpay naman yung plano namin.
Secretary, follow-up lang dun sa sinabi niya kanina dun sa mga naaresto. Can you give us a profile ng mga naaresto? Taga saan ba sila? At ito ba ay hinakot?
We'll know more after they are processed kasi isa-isa kinakausap yan. But most are from Manila. May malapit lang na lugar. Naglalakad lang sila eh. Nakikita namin naglalakad lang. Papasok-pasok. So most are from Manila.
Secretary, isa na lang. Sa isang interview, sinabi ni Manila Mayor Isko Moreno na yung gulong nangyari kahapon, ang nasa likod, isang dating politiko at saka isang abogado. Without naming names, yun din ba lumalabas sa intel report?
Hindi pa namin pinag-aaralan. Iba yung nakikita namin sa specs. Pero iba rin ang sources ni Mayor Isko eh. So we will verify his allegations.
Salamat po, Secretary.
Sunod, Crisel Pardilla, PTV4.
Good morning po, Secretary. Secretary, you've mentioned earlier na posibleng may nag-utos. Does it mean that some of them were paid?
We are studying the matter. Sa ngayon, wala kami nakitang pera na malaki naman na hawak nila. Na habang doon, wala kami nakitang distribution. But nothing is ruled out. Na according to the charter na nakikita namin, ay pinag-aaralan pa namin. Pero mayroon kaming isang narinig na rally doon sa Bonifacio Monument, sa Liwasang Bonifacio, na sinabi nung na may hawak na mic, sandali na lang, pupunta na tayo ng Mendiola, dalahin nyo na ng mga lighter nyo. So, that was a confirmation na they had intent to burn the palace.
Kay Secretary Aguda, sir, ano-ano pong mga major websites ng government yung nahack? At can you confirm na wala naman pong personal information ng ating mga kababayan yung nakuha? Thank you.
So of the 19 na nabanggit ko na deface, karamihan yun LGUs. Apat yung NGAs or National Government Agencies. Yung mga na-compromise naman sa kanila, ano lang like training modules, complaint platform, etc. So, and all of them naayos kaagad. Kasi prior to this weekend, we already have a list of government agencies na nasa target list nila. So yung apat na yon, inconsequential yung nangyari sa kanila. The other attacks na ginagawa nila is DDoS. They're trying to overwhelm some of the websites. And so far naman, madali namang naayos. To date, wala pa kaming verified report of exfiltration. So wala pang personal information na nawala. And siguro idadagdag ko na rin doon sa sinabi ni Chief kanina on the terrorism side. Yung pong, kung mapatunayan po na terrorist yung crime, na terrorism yung crime na nagawa, yung pong nasa mga online, yung mga nag-organisa po sa online, gumamit ng digital platform to result into violence, kasama po sila, hindi ko mawala sila physically doon, hindi sila damay. So damay sila kasi nagsimula po yan, nag-organize sila online Salamat.
Sunod po, Christian Yasores, DZMM.
Good morning po. Pwede po si DILG or sa PNP Chief, sir. Are we expecting po ba na may karagdagang mga pulis sa mga kalsada natin in the coming days or weeks following the incident kahapon? Kasi po baka may mga ang pangamba po ng ilan, baka po maulit-ulit yung nangyari kahapon, may mga mambulaga po ulit na sumugod dito po sa vicinity or compound po na Malacanang.
Okay. The presence of police officers on the street is a continuing one. Lalong-lalo na, we deploy police officers according to pangangailangan. So, for example, here in Metro Manila, we heightened our alertness and we increase visibility, especially on threats like, for example, in vital installation. Number one is Malacanang, and so we will increase the number of public safety forces here, especially the police.
Sa Medinilla Business Mirror.
For Secretary Remulla po.
Yes.
Will the national government or LGUs help businesses defray the cost of looting and destruction of property in Minjol?
That is an LGU matter to determine. They will give us a report kung ano ang nangyari doon. But from our assessment, there were 2 motorcycles that were burned. There's one Stardex van that was burned also. And the Sogo Motel was raided and their cash vault was taken with them. So we still have to determine the exact amount, but the looters who went inside the Sogo Motel had black mask on.
Follow-up. Basta,
Okay.
bali hindi po siya magiging under sa DILG.
Not yet. City ba nila ang magre-report sa amin yan. Tapos we will see what we can do after.
Thank you po.
Sunod, Ann Soberano, Bombo Radio.
Sec, tanong ko lang, it's either si PNP or ikaw, Sec. May natanggap po bang intelligence report ang DILG or ang PNP na may mga terror group ang gustong manabotahe sa rally po kahapon?
Yes, that's why all contingencies were considered. Our biggest fear that did not happen was someone would incite violence during the People Power Monument rally. Because the intent of the people there were peaceful. The intent of the people there were to air their grievances. The President encouraged them to go and heeded their message. He is listening to them. Alam niya naman, nakikinig naman siya eh. At alam niya na papunta ron. Our biggest fear was that there would be instigation there. Buti na lang sa Mindoro nangyari. At mas nakukontain namin yung situation.
Sir, itong terror group, it's national, international or local terrorist group po?
Local.
Local terrorist group. Okay. Sir, isa pa, kamusta po yung status? Ano po yung status ng alert level dito po sa Malacanang?
Malacanang always maintains one threat level. It is never downgraded. As long as the President, being the seat of power of the country, the threat level is just one. It is always high.
Okay. Last na lang, sir. Itong local terrorist group po ba, sir, is Abu Sayyaf or mga Maote terror group? Possible po ba silang may kinalaman dito? At ano po ba yung nila, yung strength po nila ngayon na para makapaghikayat po ng ganitong kaguluhan?
The threat of the terrorists was more of a bomb that would go off in Luneta or in the Luneta or in the People Power Monument. But with the vigilance of our PNP to look at the situation, because we had 400 policemen on the ground dressed as plainclothes to see what was going on and to assess, and the vigilance paid off and none of it transpired. Safe to say, we are still investigating according to our intelligence reports, and we will come out with a report pretty soon.
Thank you, Sec.
Sunod, Chloe Hofana, Business World.
Good morning po kay PNP Chief po, sir. A quick question lang po. Does the PNP think po na these violent protests will spread pa po, or this is just going to be a one-time event?
Okay, katulad ng sinabi, if there were intelligence report about terrorism or act of terrorism, here in Malacanang area specifically, sagutin ko uli kanina, this is the seat of power. whether there is no threat or there is threat, these premises, this vital installation is given the highest security. Okay? So, nandito po ang PNP, nandyan po ang Armed Forces of the Philippines, lalong-lalo na yung Presidential Security Command. And so, about the threat, continuously ina-assess po natin yan. We have different threat group. We have the Communist Terrorist Group. We have the Local Terrorist Group. We have, lalo na kung may spillover from Mindanao going here, especially we have elections in Mindanao. We have the Islamic Terrorist Group. We have the BIAFF, the DI Hassan, DI Maute, and other threats like, for example, our situation in the West Philippine Sea. So pinag-aaralan po natin lahat yan such that there are several contingencies that we have done. Before the conduct of these protest rallies, we have already have made our surveys. We have engaged the community around Metro Manila kung saan sila kumukuha ng mga rallyista, ay ini-engage po natin yan. And we have conducted several police operations to enable to deny yung maging presence ng firearms, at the same time explosive materials. If you're going to look at the number one is yung LRT natin, marami pong nakadeploy na mga police doon. Especially, we have coordinated with the DOTR such that merong mga X-ray machines doon at nagagamit. And other police operations that we had done.
Thank you, sir. Kay Secretary Aguda po, sir. Sir, pasensya na po, lilihis po ako sa topic ng rally. Sir, about konektadong Pinoy po sana, sir.
Yes.
Sir, kailan po natin i-expect ang IRR and ano po yung mga sinasabi ng mga telco companies natin na gusto nila makita sa IRR?
Dun sa IRR, ang schedule natin for Konektadong Pinoy is first week of October. We've had several consultation meetings with them already. And yung mga telcos naman, ang gusto lang nila is a fair participation in the crafting of the IRR. And isa dun sa napag-usapan dun sa IRR is how do we increase our ability in the telco space to reduce harmful effects of the internet. Isa na po itong nakita natin over the weekend. Nagsimula po ito dun sa Black Mask. Nag-organize sila online and unfortunately translated into violence in the street, di ba? Kung hindi po nagapang ng DILG at ng PNP, hindi po sana magiging kasing peaceful yung nangyari this weekend. So, ganun po. Doon sa Konektadong Pinoy, ulitin ko po, kasama dyan yung how do we create a better governance around the internet so that we can minimize the ill effects. Kasama na po dyan yung prescribing violence over the internet. So, first week of October, tuloy-tuloy naman po, yung mga telco naman po yung nakikikooperate.
Thank you, sir. Follow-up na lang po. May mga foreign telco companies na po ba nag-express na gusto nilang pumasok sa Philippine market?
Meron. Siguro may tatlong malaki. Hindi ko na pangangalanan dahil ayaw nating pangunahan sila. Pero marami ring local. Ang kagandahan po niyan, anywhere from an LGU who wants to serve their locality better to private companies that are in the Philippines already. Marami po. All of them are coming together to participate in Konektadong Pinoy para naman maabot yung gusto ng presidente natin na connectivity everywhere in the Philippines and affordable connectivity to all Filipinos.
May range po kayo tayo, sir, kung ilan?
Ang mag-a-apply, yung gusto, siguro more than a dozen na yung nag-express. And since wala pa yung IRR, we expect that to increase further pag lumabas na yung IRR.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sunod, Net 25, Eden Santos.
Good afternoon po kay PNP Chief po at kay DILG Secretary. Sir, PNP Chief, opo. Sir, kahapon po yung naging marahas na rally ng mga kabataan sa bahagi ng Ayala Bridge at sa Manjola. Nagulat po ba yung ating mga pulis dito dun sa kanilang biglang pagsugod? And doon din po sa Manjola?
Of course, nagulat tayo. But we are expecting that to happen. Especially, we have made our contingencies kasi may mga contingencies yan. How if, kung may nangyari na ganito, how if, kung may nangyari ito. That's why, meron tayong PNP personnel deployed at that area. In fact, mayroong mga barricades, etc. At may mga contingencies na gagawin. So, when that thing happen, meron tayong aresto.
So marami po kasi mga nasugatang pulis ano po. Kay DILG Secretary, sa laki po nung Intel Fund ng Office of the President, hindi po ba natin agad natukoy kung sino yung mga grupo sa likod nitong marahas na rally sa Ayala Bridge at sa Mendiola po? Ito yung mga galing sa Luneta, kasama po sila sa mga nagrally doon.
Actually, alam na namin kung anong grupo yan. Pero hindi pa namin pwedeng sabihin kasi yung actual participants, kinokonect pa namin sa kanila. So, you give us a few days at we will confirm after all the interviews and the interrogations are done.
So may political group po ba dito sa mga nasa likod ng mga magulong karas o marahas na rally na ito po kahapon?
We will confirm after all the interviews are done.
Sa tingin niyo po ba yung mga nagrally, yung mga kabataan, may kasama pang mga minor de edad, are capable to burn the Malacanang using the lighter na sabi niyo po kanina, nabanggit niyo, nagdala sila ng lighter?
The capacity to burn the palace is very difficult, but the intent was there. So, we have to separate the two of them. Iba yung capacity and intent. So, mahirap gawin yun yung gusto nilang mangyari at hindi kami papayag. Pero gusto talaga nila by showing that they had Molotov cocktails ready.
So, kaya po sunugin ang Malacanang gamit po yung Molotov, yung lighter?
Kung napasok nila, siyempre. Yung lighter naman para sa Molotov yun Kung lighter lang, siyempre di makasunog yun, di ba? Pero, ayun yung gusto nila. Di ba? Pero, kung nakapasok sila at di pinigilan, siyempre, kaya nila gawin yun. Pero hindi kami papayag doon na mangyari doon.
Last na lang pong question. Ano po yung pwedeng maging liability kung meron pan po ng mga organizer ng rally sa Luneta since karamihan po doon sa mga kabataan na nakaitim, na mga suit, may mga nakamaskara at nakabonet, ay galing po doon sa kanilang mga rally sa Luneta?
We will label them as terrorists. And as far as sedition, pwede namin in-charge sa kanila if we prove it already.
Ito mo mga Makabayan Black, ganun po ba yung mga militanteng grupo?
Wait for it to be confirmed. And the DOJ has standards of reasonable certainty for conviction before we file the case. So, i-develop yung case para sa kanila.
Last na lang po, doon po sa Liwasang Bonifacio, mga nagrally din po doon. May pumunta rin po ba dito sa Mendiola at Ayala Bridge?
Around 300 of them pumunta dito.
Thank you po.
Sunod, Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN.
Hi, sir. Good morning. For Secretary Aguda, sir, can we name the 14 websites that were defaced?
No, 19
Sorry,
yun.
is that corrected?
19. Sige. Yung 19 doon, 4 doon is national government agencies. Yung the rest, mga LGUs. Sige, yung 14, yung PRISM, yung isang educational platform ni ARTA, but that's been fixed. I think one of them is BOC, pero sandali lang yun hindi nyo halos naramdaman The other one is there was one sa DICT pero mabilis din na naayos, hindi nyo rin halos naramdaman. The fourth one is DepDev. It's informational lang siya. Tapos naglagay lang sila ng logo nila. Tapos again, kaya nga hindi nyo halos naramdaman Yun lang yun. And there were in the list of agencies na we've been monitoring already.
Sir, what is the common denominator among the agencies that were included in their initial target list that you got in advance?
So, ang common denominator is the actor called Anonymous PH. So, doon namin na-track down. And the chatter in the cybersecurity community is pointing to them. Although I've reached out to them, sabi nila, hindi daw sila. So, sabi ko, di sabaw nyo. Well, There's a person of interest right now that we're pursuing, we're coordinating with the law enforcement. And yun na lang, in the next coming days or weeks siguro, we'll give you an update. So yun yung common dun sa mga yun.
Sir, but as for the intent, what is the common among these websites? Bakit sila po yung napili na 19 among the many government agency websites?
Kasi yung all the other government websites started reinforcing their cybersecurity platform. Hindi mo kasi masabi kung may na-implant na sa loob yan before eh. I think what they tried to do is kung sino lang yung mapasok nila, yun na yung pinasok nila. There's no common intent. There's also breaches na nangyari over the weekend. No, not breaches, attempts to breach. 1.4 million yung nakita namin na attempts. Ang dami niyan. And kung makikita nyo, 4 lang yung nakalusot. So, kudos to the people of the CICC from the ICT, tsaka yung Cyber Bureau natin, at tsaka yung NCERT, and together with the law enforcer. So, they started working as early as last week pa to secure all of this.
Sir, may na-trace na rin po ba kayo kung saan nanggaling yung disinformation campaign surrounding the rallies yesterday, especially dun sa Recto and Mendiola?
Yeah. So, again, Anonymous PH. Pero yan kasi isang community ng hacktivist yan eh. So, it's a collective. So, kami naman, ayaw naming pangunahan kung sino yung individual na yon kasi we need to verify. But it's not one person, it's a group, it's a collective. And matagal ng ano naman yan eh, gumagalaw sa Pilipinas yung mga yan. Tapos, may mga from the outside pero hindi naman nakapasok, nag-attempt lang po pero hindi naman nakapasok sa Pilipinas. That's why no successful breach can be traced to a nation actor or an overseas entity.
Sir, last from my end, can you give us a brief profile, even in broad strokes, nung person of interest nyo na tinitingnan?
Well, is in country. Yun lang siguro. And I think I will defer giving additional information para hindi naman masayang yung investigation process.
Sir, clarify lang namin, lalaki po. He's
He,
in
she.
country.
He, she.
Gentle reminder, one question, one follow-up, so the others can also ask questions. Next po, Eileen Taliping Abante.
Okay.
Kay Secretary Remulla. So, anong liability nung nagsalita sa Jesus Ryan na magdala ng lighter doon sa nangyari kahapon?
Liwasa Bonifacio.
Sa Liwasang Bonifacio.
It can go from arson to sedition. So we are studying the matter.
Another question, nawagan si Chavez Singson nitong weekend sa mga kabataan na lumabas at sumama sa rally para makita, maramdaman ng gobyerno yung disgusto. May impluensya ba yung panawagan niyang yun sa nangyari kahapon?
Siguro siya lang makakasabi nun, hindi kami. And we're happy that he asked the youth to come out kasi ayun nga ang purpose nila, to air their grievances. Safe to say that the president heard what was going on, then he heard the grievances of the people, and he is acting swiftly to correct everything. A institutional change that he wants to do is in the process of being done.
Di ba yung matatawag na inciting to sedition?
Hindi naman.
Panawagan na.
Imbita lang naman siya na pumunta sa rally. Hindi naman sinabi na ipabagsak ang gobyerno o patayin may patayin na tao. Hindi naman siguro.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sunod, Ms. Elgiang, All TV.
Hello po. Good afternoon, Secretary Remulla. Ang question lang po, records show that there are around 70 policemen who were wounded.
95, I think.
Sorry, 95
Yes.
policemen were wounded. Given this fact, Secretary, can we still say that the September 21 protest was generally peaceful?
Yes, because none of the legitimate protesters were hurt in the sites all around the country. It was only a few who tried to incite violence near the palace that were arrested. So, the protest was not limited to EDSA Shrine and the NETNA and the People Power Monument. All around the country, there were separate venues, and all of them were very peaceful.
One more question, Secretary. Ang nangyari po kahapon ay protesta laban sa korupsyon dahil sa flood control projects. Pero naging marahas po yung mga nagprotesta sa Ayala, sa Menjola, sa Recto. Sa tingin niyo po, Secretary, bakit ang pagsunog sa palasyo yung naging motibo ng mga naging marahas kahapon?
Well, obviously, they had different intentions. They did not intend to peacefully air their grievances as is allowed by law. But what their intentions were, we will determine in the next few days. I mean, how they assembled, who assembled them, or how the process went, we will determine in the next few days.
Sir, sorry, pahabol na lang. Yung 300 people na sinabi nyo kanina, na-establish ba natin na iisang grupo sila galing?
Hindi naman. Hindi naman. So we're still determining until now.
So hindi po isang grupo.
We will determine in the next few days.
Alright, thank you po.
We will take last two questions, one from Ivan Mayrina and then Crisel Pardilla.
For Secretary Aguda, sir. Nabanggit nyo ho itong Anonymous PH at yung... Sila rin ba yung nasa likod ng Black Mass Movement? Tama ho ba?
Yun yung intel namin. It's pointing towards that.
Hindi naman ho sila new player. What can you tell us about their associations? Meron ho ba sila pinupush na advocacy, ideology, perhaps sinusuportahang political personality?
Yung mga hacktivists naman, usually sinasakyan nila yung cause, 'di ba? Usually they express their protest in the cyberspace. So dati may makikita kayo mga website defacement, pag-hack ng mga government website, na-trace sa kanila. Ito yung first incident na nakita namin na nag-organize sila sa web, tapos na-translate into violence. Kaya nga yung word na terrorism is aptly associated with them. Para lang mabigyan kayo ng konteksto, last week pa po, through working with the telco and the social media platform, sila CICC po, trinatrack na yung Black Mask na movement. Naglalagay po sila nung how to create a Molotov doon sa web. Hindi nyo lang masyado nakikita dahil I'd like to acknowledge po yung mga social media platform, they proactively take it down. Siguro, yung nakikita nyo na lang ngayon sa web is about 3% of all the toxic and violent posting nila. Marami po yon. Tapos sila rin po yung, hindi ko na sila yung nagko-compromise ng mga privacy ng mga tao, pinopost sa web, nag-i-incite talaga ng violence. Yun po bawal. Bawal po rin sa community standards ng mga social media platform. And yun na nga, our intel is pointing to that organization. It's a collective. So it's not one person, not one organization, but we have, as I've said, some persons of interest already. Yun po, before this weekend, nagbi-build up na yung and let me add, as of 2 o'clock, when I gave my update to the cabinet, peaceful pa po tayo. 2 o'clock, wala pong karahasan. Tapos siguro mga bandang mga 3:30, no? Bandang 3:30 nagkaroon na ng gulo. And during that time, doon po kami may na-monitor ng mga chatter. May chatter na po sa internet. And yung mga yan, minsan nag-organize using Facebook Live. So, magfe-Facebook sila, sasabihin nila, dito kayo mag-login sa link na to, tapos doon sila nag-organize. Pag may nakita po kaming ganon, sina-shutdown namin kaagad. Pero, minsan, mabilisan eh. So, bigla na lang, parang flash mob ang nangyayari. Alam niyo na yung flash mob, di ba? Parang nag-flash mob sila. So, kaya po kami, doon sa internet, yung kampanya namin to clean the internet of harmful products, harmful services, harmful tendencies, pinapainting po natin. Dahil nakita nyo na po yung resulta over the weekend. Mapayapa po yung gathering, mapayapa po yung rally, tapos biglang nahaluan ng ganyan. Sayang naman.
Last question mula kay Tizel Padilla, PTV.
Secretary Remulla, may DILG Pag-asa Expo Manila City Jail po kayo. Can you tell us about it briefly lang po?
Well, it's about giving hope to the PDLs there. It's a novel program, training them for life after their deprivation of liberty, and it's being showcased all around the country now.
Is it clear?
Thank you very much, Secretary John Vic Remulla, Secretary Henry Aguda, and PNP Chief General Natatis Jr. Kanina sa tanong patungkol kay Chavit Singson, ang gusto po ng Pangulo ay managot ang lahat na maaaring managot at lahat na maaaring sangkot sa marahas na nangyari. Ilan lamang, pero naging marahas ang ilan sa naging rally nitong linggo. So tayo na po ang makikiusap sa pamunuan po, especially kay Secretary John Vic Remulla, kay Acting PNP Chief General Natatis Jr., and of course sa DOJ, na busisiin mismo ang mga sinabi ni Mr. Chavit Singson. Dahil doon, inakit niya ang mga kabataan, especially high school students, college students, at karamihan dito malamang ay mga minor de edad, upang malaman nila at iniyahan ito na huwag pumasok sa eskwelahan. At habang hindi bumababa ang mga taong gusto nilang pababain. At sila pa, at si Mr. Chavit Singson pa ang nagsabi na hayaan ng mga magulang ang mga batang ito na tumayo para sa isang revolusyon para sa korupsyon. So, dapat maimbestigahan ito upang malaman kung siya ay maaari makasuhan ng inciting to sedition. Maaari na po akong tumanggap ng inyong mga katanungan.
Unang tanong mula kay Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN.
Ma'am, may we know the President's reaction to the violence that happened in Recto and in Mendiola, which are areas very close to Malacanang. Ano po yung kanyang marching order bukod doon sa nasabi ni Secretary Remulla earlier to get to the bottom of the mess?
Muli, nasabi na rin po ni Secretary John Vic Remulla, pati na po ni PNP Chief, Acting PNP Chief General Natatis Jr. kung ano po ang dapat na gawin. Maaaring hindi ito mangyayari isang beses, pero mas gugustuhin natin na hindi na muling mangyari. Pero handa po ang kapulisan at ang administrasyon sa mga ganitong pangyayari. So, wag na po sila ulit magtangka.
Ma'am, just a follow-up question. Maliwanag po yung naging panawagan dun sa mga legitimate rallies. They want accountability. They want politicians, all corrupt actors to be jailed. What policies are being drafted or put in place to make sure that the President heeds the call of the public to have concrete measures against corrupt actors?
Binuo po ang ICI para siyang gumawa ng mas malalimang investigasyon. Hindi po makikialam ang Pangulo sa maaaring mangyari o maaaring gawin at maaaring maimbestigahan ng ICI members. Kung meron pong kasama mga politiko rito, dapat pong sampahan ng kaso. Sino man ang maaaring sangkot dito, lahat ng sangkot dapat masampahan ng kaso at dapat na managot.
Sunod, Chanel Salazar, DZXL.
Good afternoon po, Yusek. May ilang magulang po na nasa harap ng Manila Police District na nagsasabi na yung mga nahuli daw po na anak nila ay hindi po kasama sa gulo at nadamay lang po, kaya po naaresto. Ano po ang reaksyon ng Malacanang dito? At plano po bang papanagutin ng pamahalaan itong mga magulang if ever mapatunayan po na sangkot yung kanilang mga anak na minors doon sa nangyaring gulo?
Unang-una po, iniimbestigahan pa po ito. Pangalawa, sila yung magulang, dapat alam nila kung nasaan yung kanilang anak. Dapat alam nila kung anong ginagawa ng mga anak nila during the time na nagkakaroon ng rally. At itong mga marahas na pangyayari sa Ayala at saka si Mendiola. Ayala Bridge at Mendiola. At kung mapapatunayan na may pananagutan ang mga minor de edad na ito, definitely dapat kasama po ang DSWD at mga social worker para malaman po ang maaaring nangyari at ang maaaring kinakasangkutan ng mga kabataang ito.
Hindi po naman sila agad-agad malilinis kung sila man ay minor de edad dahil meron pong kailangang intervention program na maisagawa. At kung sila ay 16 years old hanggang 17 years old, at maaari po silang makasuhan at kung mapapatunayan na they acted with discernment at makikita po na alam nila ang kanilang ginagawa, maaari po silang masintensyahan pero magkakaroon ng suspended na enforce ng anumang penalty na ipapataw ng korte. At maaari lamang itong isagawa kapag umabot na po sila sa edad na 21 years old.
Sunod po, Maricel Halili, TV5.
Magandang tanghali po, Yusek. Although it was mentioned already earlier that the President stayed in Malacanang yesterday, may we know who was with the President while he was monitoring? Ano pa po yung naging activities niya kahapon? Whole day po ba siya sa Malacanang lang?
Sinabi na nga po kanina ni Secretary John Vic na siya ay nasa secured place sa loob ng compound at kung sino po ang mga kasama niya ay hindi na natin muna ito masasabi. At opo, maghapon po siya nag-monitor.
And may we know kung ano-ano na po yung activities ni PBBM today? Back, business as usual na ba siya?
Opo, nagmo-monitor na po siya dito sa Bagyong Nando at babanggitin ko na po ang kanyang statement. Nakatanggap tayo ng mga ulat mula sa iba't ibang probinsya ukol sa Bagyong Nando. Malalakas ang hangin na nararanasan ngunit sa ngayon ay hindi pa malakas ang ulan. May mga isinasagawang preemptive evacuation at tinutugunan agad natin ang pangangailangan ng mga nasa evacuation centers. Mahigpit nating minomonitor ang sitwasyon at nakaalerto ang lahat ng ahensya ng pamahalaan upang makapagbigay ng tulong saan man at kailanman kinakailanganin or kakailanganin. Yan po ang mensahe ng ating Pangulo.
Sorry, ma'am, last na lang. Does the President plan to visit NDRRMC or meron ba siyang mga private meetings today?
Ngayon, ang sa ating pagkakaalam ay dadalaw po siya sa NDRRMC at abangan na lamang po natin.
Salamat po.
Sunod, Chloe Hafana.
Good afternoon po, Yusek. With public unrest rising, what is the plan to protect domestic and foreign investment from reputational risk? And what assurances can the palace give to investors that corruption risks are being addressed effectively, especially after the President's pronouncement po during his SONA that foreign investors should go to the Philippines?
But anyway, we all know that investors want to invest in countries whose leaders fight corruption, whose leaders are willing to put in jail people who are corrupt. And that is what the President is doing right now. Siya lamang po ang presidente na nagpapaimbestiga ng malawakang anomalya, especially itong flood control projects, kahit sa panahon ng kanyang administrasyon. Wala sino man sa ngayon na nalalaman tayo na pinaimbestigahan niya ang sariling administrasyon. Lahat halos ay nagmamalinis. Pero ang Pangulo ay matapang na lumabas upang ipaalam sa tao ang maaaring pang-aabuso sa kaban ng bayan. So sa tingin natin, with that, we believe na lahat ng investors masahangaan ng Pangulo dahil lumalaban sa korupsyon.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sunod, Christian Yasores, DZMM.
Magandang hapon po, Yusek. You mentioned kanina na open kayo dun sa possibility na baka maulit-ulit yung mga protesta kahapon. Ano po ang marching order ng Pangulo sa mga law enforcement agencies kung sakaling mag-spill over in the coming days or weeks yung mga ganong type po ng protesta na nangyari kahapon?
Gayun pa rin po. Handa pa rin po ang ating kapulisan, handa po ang administrasyon sa mga ganyang klaseng laban, at hindi po patitinag ang ating Pangulo sa mga ganyang threats.
Sunod, Ivan Mayrina, GMA News.
Yusek, lilihis lamang po ako ng konti. The PCIJ came out with a report that shows the President got millions in campaign contributions in 2022 from contractors while they had ongoing contracts with the government. And these contractors eventually got significant rise in public works contracts awarded to them in the last 3 years. How does the palace respond to this, especially since this is in violation of the Omnibus Election Code?
Let the COMELEC do its job. Investigate.
And if the evidence points to the President, sinasabi ho niya, there should be no sacred cows in this investigation, even if it eventually leads to him?
The President is willing to be investigated.
Thank you.
Ivy Reyes, Bilyonaryo.
Yusek, sinabi niyo po sa interview niyo kahapon na kahit matamaan yung administrasyon ni President, he opened this probe in the spirit of accountability. So is he willing to submit himself to the ICI? Should he be probed for the 20 million he got from the contractor na donor po niya?
Opo, matapang po ang Pangulo at alam po niya ang kanyang ginagawa at kung ano man ang maaari maimbestigahan dito, hindi rin po niya i-excuse ang sarili niya.
Sunod mula kay Evelyn Quiroz, Pilipino ngayon.
Good morning, Yusek. Sa mga investigasyon po sa Senado at sa House of Representatives, parang lumilitaw po na si Congressman Saldico po ang parang contact point sa investigasyon na ito. May impormasyon po ba ang palasyo kung nasaan po siya ngayon?
Si Mr. Saldico, si Representative Saldico, sa ating pagkakaalam, wala po sa ngayon. Tatanungin natin ang Pangulo kung may alam siya, pero sa ngayon wala po tayong nalalaman na anumang impormasyon patungkol siya.
Kung sakali po ba ay pwede po bang willing ang Pangulo na parang mag-reach out naman po kay dating Speaker Martin Romualdez na siya pong Speaker nung panahon niya na pabalikin na po sa bansa para magkaroon po ng linaw ang mga investigasyong ito?
Sa ating pagkakaalam, meron na pong binigay na order si Speaker D, House Speaker D, na siya kailangan ng bumalik in 10 days. So, nandun na po yung utos. Hindi na po kinakailangan ng Pangulo ang mag-utos dito. Si Congressman Saldico naman ay under po kay House Speaker.
At kung hindi po siya tumalima sa 10 days, sa tingin niyo po ba may criminal liability po ba ito? Anong liability po ni Congressman Saldico? Thank you.
Kung criminal liability sa hindi niya pagbalik, wala naman po tayo nakikita mag-aaring criminal liability. Pero baka maaari niya pong sapitin ang nangyari kay Congressman Teves. Kung yun po ang magiging aksyon ng House of Representatives.
Sunod mula kay Michelle Gilang, All TV.
Good afternoon po, Yusek. Naipahayag po ng Pangulo na kaisa niya ang mga Pilipinong nagprotesta laban sa katiwalian at korupsyon kahapon. Sa tingin po ng palasyo, ano po kaya yung dahilan bakit may grupo pa rin na ginustong may intention na sunugin ang Malacanang?
Merong gustong kumuha ng power. Yun lang. At gustong sirain ang magandang nagagawa ng Pangulo at sirain ang Pangulo sa mata ng ibang tao.
Thank you.
Yusek Claire.
Okay, salamat. Full government mobilization sa mga lugar na apektado ng bagyo, ipinag-utos ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. Sa kabila ng ingay, tahimik na nagtatrabaho si Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. upang masiguro ang kaligtasan ng mga residenteng naapektuhan ng Super Typhoon Nando. Ipinag-utos ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. sa Office of the Civil Defense or OCD na immobilize ang lahat ng national government agencies upang tulungan ang mga local government units na paghandaan ang Super Typhoon Nando. Sa ulat ng OCD, naka-full alert at handang rumisponde ang local at national government officials sa banta ng sama ng panahon. Nakahanda rin ang pamahalaan sa pagtugon sa epekto ng bagyo, kabilang na ang posibleng storm surge at matinding pagbaha sa Hilagang Luzon. Pinapayuhan ang publiko na manatiling alerto, sumunod sa opisyal na abiso at makipagtulungan para sa kaligtasan ng lahat.